Happy new month. I hope you are doing well. It is February, the month of love, where there's a lot of pressure, for people who are in relationships and marriages as well. This is where you get to buy a lot of flowers and chocolates and all that. And it is an exciting period where people get to also reassure each other. I hope you are doing well, and welcome to today's program of Transforming Families. My name is Faith Kaulu. Well, today's program is going to be a lot about the single people, but even if you're in a relationship, you are going to find guidance and wisdom. So keep it until the end. Well, with me today is Reverend Edward Karanja, who is a minister of the Presbyterian Church of East Africa, as well as a marriage and family therapist. Thank you so much, Jeff, for being here today.
Thank you very much, Faith. It's always such an honor to be in CAC TV, and especially in the Transforming Families program, because we always say here, stable families for a stable society.
Sure thing.
Thank you.
Karibu.
Welcome, viewers.
Another very far end is Professor Catherine Gashuda, who is a counseling therapist as well as the director of the Kenya Institute of Business and Counseling Studies. Thank you so much, Prof, for being here as well.
Thank you, Liv. Thank you, Faith. Always happy to be here with you guys as we are talking about families and nurturing families and growing families. And like this month where we are looking into how can we advance love relationships, those connections that people have, how do we make them to go to the other level?
True. And indeed, this whole month, right here on the program, we are just going to focus on different topics that we believe will be important that touch on love. We'll talk about intentional dating. We'll also talk about, is love really enough, and so much more. So keep it tuned every Saturday at 8 p.m. But for tonight's program, we are touching on things to look out for, characteristics to look out for when you are planning or when you have finally decided to settle down on a partner. So you're out there, you feel like it's about time, I need to find someone for myself and get married. So then what should you look out for? What are the important things that you should consider? And even before we start, I think let's talk about that there is no specific age where we say that this is not the time, don't go beyond this period, or a specific age where we say now you are ripe for marriage. We do not want to pressurize anyone, because we understand life is different for each and every one of us. Some will get married at 35, others at 25 and 22, and that is all okay, and we wish you all the best.
Yes.
Take us through, first of all, when you feel like the time is right, before we look at things to look out for, what should be the key factors to tell you that this is the right time for me to settle down? Let's start with the self. I feel like it is time I settle down. What boxes should you tick that let you know indeed it is time, other than just age and societal pressure?
Thank you very much, Faith. Thank you, Prof. And thank you, our viewers, for staying with us, and we thank you for your support, for staying on CAC TV. You are the reason that we are here every Saturday to be able to engage you on this. In terms of finding partner, like you have rightfully put it, Faith, you start looking for your partner at different times. People have their own particular goals. There's some people who want to get married at 25, others at 30. Others do not really have the age as the issue. They have certain goals in life as the issue. I want to get married after I have my first degree, after I have second degree, after I have a job, after I have already settled down, I'm in my own house. I want to get married after I have a car. And so you will have people with all these, aspirations and desires. And I'll be like, the moment somebody comes approaching you for marriage, or you approach someone, because it's either way, approach someone, either you are a lady or a man, it's good to start discussing these goals as early as possible. For girls, if you think you want to get married and you are above 18, you are 20, 21, you are at the university, you are in college, I always encourage girls when they go to the university that is the time to start dating. Go for coffee. It's good you start experiencing life early. You are 20, 21, 22, go out for coffee, ununue kawa na mtu, mwende date, uone hapa ni kuna kazi ni wote, you get into another, go another date here and there, go for the praise and worship in the church, enda mwende maombi mara mbili mara tatu na ndugu mnaenda maombi unaangalia kwa CU. This one can't work. And I know this not easy because my daughter is completing university at 4th year. And it's that time when she joined the university, it wasn't very easy to give her this gospel. But I told her candidly, you know what, daughter? You are now at the university. It is your time to go out for coffee, but take care of yourself. You know, and I gave this few things where what she needs to watch out in, so that she can be a little bit wiser in relationships. Okay. So I'll be like, you know, you want to get married, so that you can be able to even tell your goals, set your goals. You know, what kind of a guy do I want to get married to? If you are a man, the same. I guess I have counseled my daughter more in terms of marriage, because I always say, for a woman, you identify your man. Choose your man. If possible for a man or for a woman, choose your man, then make the man chase you. Okay. So that you also take care of his ego, so that he thinks he looked for you. But in the actual sense, you look for the man. Okay. You identify the guy, say, this is the guy to marry me, and I want this guy, has good character. Make yourself present in his life, but allow him to chase you. Akuchase mpaka aseme vile alikuwa anakuita beti unakataa ulienda wapi nini, lakini ushamark kitambo, ulikuwa ushamuona na ukasema huyu hataenda wapi. Ukiona kama amelegeza chase, tena unatokelezea kidogo, tena anaanza chase. So make sure you don't allow him to chase you until he's tired. Okay. You know, because you have identified the guy already in your life. What are the factors to look into? So one, you need to know, when do you start the dating? When do you start going out to look for this other person? There are guys who will be like, I don't want to think about a boyfriend or a girlfriend until I am through at a certain age. Personally, I did not want the issue of girls during my days until I was through with my college degree. I'm through with my studies. Once I am through and I have a job, I was like, that is the moment I will start dating. So when I was in college, and the rest of the guys were chasing, and I'm at the university, and guys are chasing girls, I was busy worshiping the Lord and lifting my eyes to hands to heaven and asking God for a spouse. I wasn't chasing any. So I was in heaven. I was literally worshiping God. By the time I met my girlfriend, who became my wife by God's grace, I was 25 years. Okay. That is the moment I met my wife, was my girlfriend. And I started the chase. And it wasn't easy. I was born again. I was spirit-filled. I had gone for prayers. I had gone to Karura Forest to Kuomba. But God still did not bring her to my doorstep. I still had my work to do. And I think when I look back, I think my wife Sarah had already identified. I think she had marked me, but I always talk about chasing. But when I look now critically, nini wametoka kwaya amedelay kidogo ndio nipe chance ya kumuona, all those, I can tell the girl identified me. And finally she came into my life. So I'm saying, for you to be able to pick that person, you need to look into the timing. When do you begin the relationship? For the man, are you ready? When you begin that relationship, should anything go wrong and you find yourself in the family way, are you ready to sustain the lady? Okay. For the girl, the same as you start going out, are you ready? Should anything go haywire, as you do that dating, you are ready to settle with the man? You need to ask yourself those questions critically. There are also the family values, which we could be looking later. The family values. What do you hear from the family? There are some families who will say critically, sisi hatuoi kabila fulani, and they are clear on that. And you try to bring a lady from that kabila, you have a problem. You may all of you be from the same tribe, but probably they don't marry from that particular sub-tribe. For example, you are a Kikuyu, and you are told, sisi Wakikuyu wa Murang'a, hatuwe Wakikuyu wa Nyeri, hatuwe Wakikuyu wa Kiambu. Sisi wa Nyeri, hatuwe Kiambu. You may be from Nyanza, and you go and you hear, sisi watu wa Migori, hatuwe Kisumu, hatuwe Siaya. You know, this, and you all thought in these places that these guys are the same tribe, but there are also some sub-tribe there. Sisi ni Suba, hatuoi Siaya, hatuoi Migori. So you got to also listen into those. What are the families saying? Of course, there is the issue of God. So, because we cannot remain in those cocoons forever, but listen to the family so that you know, if my family is critically against marrying from a certain community, as I get into that community, how do I prepare? You know that your battles are already cut out.
Yeah.
That you have to deal with your family first before you deal with those others.
Okay.
So there's some of those things you look into.
Yeah.
And of course the other things that we could be looking at. Yes.
You've mentioned about the sub-trans factor and the culture.
Yes.
Maybe I'm a Luo, and from my family they say no, we do not want Kikuyus, we do not want Giriamas here.
Yes.
And I'm in love with a Giriama,
Yes.
but I know my family doesn't accept,
Yes.
and his family as well. So here's a factor that is key. We want our parents' blessing,
Yes.
but we still also love each other, and we're not ready to let go. What then should happen in such an instance?
You need to win the families first. You love each other. You clearly tell each other what is your family. But they say, sisi hatuoi wa Giriama, hatuoi wa Kikuyu, hatuoi wa Kalenjin.
Yeah.
Na sisi hatuoi, familia wametuambia hatuoi, here we are, and we're in love. Now we need to get married. Each of us needs to go and break the news to their particular families. Kabla hujanipeleka kwenyu, enda waambie watu wenyu umepata Mkikuyu. Na uende waambie watu wenyu umepata Mluo. Let them through the tantrums. Wacha warushe tantrums. Na muambie mapema, warushe tantrums, waruke juu chini. Ukuje tuambiane kuliendaje kwenyu. Kumedhoka, wamelete joto. Ile mwingine kwenyu kumekuaje? The same. You sit around kidogo, after like few months, go back, tell your dad. Maybe dad or mommy has said, please, nilikwambia mimi mambo ya low staki. Go back 6 months. Say, Daddy have prayed over this, and I still feel drawn to this man. Akasirike. By the time you repeat the story to the parents second, third time, no parent will be willing to lose a child because of marrying a certain community. But you do not want to do it as a shocker to them. You want them to, the flooding, in counseling, we talk about the flooding, expose somebody to the situation, expose them to it. You can even decide before you tell them I'm marrying a Kikuyu. There could even be a funeral wedding of a certain Kikuyu marrying a Luo, an intermarriage somewhere. And you could invite your parents, mwende nao. Kuna harusi ya rafiki yangu anaolewa twende. Akute wameoana wa Kikuyu na watu wanadansa ama Waluo wanaoana wa Kalenjin. Now you are starting to expose this parent to a particular way of life as they kutoka kwa the cocoon from which they are in.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Prof, there's so much we can look into, but even before we get that, let me ask you the first question asked. Here is an individual who thinks, you know what, it's about time I started looking. And in this episode, we want to tell them, these are the things you should consider for the other person. But now let's start with looking at the things they should consider for themselves. Check yourself. So what in you should tell you that, yeah, I think you are ready to now go out and start a relationship with someone.
Right. I want to start from where Leverett started from. In terms of, am I stable at this point in time? Have I completed my education? Do I think that I am mature enough to be able to handle the challenges of marriage? Have I dealt with my own emotional and psychological issues that I may be having? We have a theory that we call Psychosocial Theory by a person called Erik Erikson. And he looks at developmental stages and the tasks that one needs to accomplish in each one of the stages of their lives. When it comes to adolescents, then this adolescent need to be an entity. And to understand themselves, to have an identity that they can say, this is me. I understand me. Because again, you do not want to get into a love relationship when you don't know who you are. So when you know yourself and what you like and you love and what you wouldn't want to get into, because you are reflecting on yourself and you're connecting with yourself and you know the things that you would want to have in a spouse, then now you know I am ready for a relationship because I understand me and I'm contented with me and I think I'm mature enough for me to get into a marriage relationship. We say that people have mature brains to be able to handle the challenges of life and what comes in life when they are 25 years. Then you can be able to see that person, even the way they are looking at situations, they are more wiser in the way they are looking at the situation, even of a family.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's important to look into yourself and ask yourself, am I ready for a romantic relationship, for a marriage relationship, or I'm not ready? If I'm not ready, is it about my age, or it's about my emotional balance or imbalance, or I do not think that within my mind I am set up to enter into a marriage relationship. I was listening to our son who is 25 years saying, I am not ready now. I want to give myself a little bit of time because there is something urgent I want to attend to, and then now I can get into a relationship. So we weigh ourselves and we can be able to know when we are ready. And marriage is a developmental milestone.
Okay.
When people don't get married and they were yearning to get married, you know, there are people who choose, I don't want to get married. And it is okay.
Yeah.
But for people who have not said, I do not want to get married, if they go beyond a certain age, they start getting worried. So what do they want for themselves? You want for yourself to be sure that you are ready for the institution of marriage. You are ready to grow within a relationship and to make sure that this relationship is going to thrive and that it is going to make meaning to you and to the other person. So what do you want in the other person? Certainly, for you to come to a level where you have chosen one, there are many others that you've been seeing, you've been thinking about.
Yeah.
You know, a group of eligibles, you can say there are 10. So and so have been interested in so and so from this community, and so from that community, and so. And so now what you're doing is that you are scanning the group of eligibles so that you can be able to convince yourself that the person that you're going to choose is the one who is good for you. The reason as to why you're doing that is because you're thinking, what am I taking to this marriage and what do I want to receive from a relationship?
Yeah.
And so you can say, I would want to receive maturity from that relationship. If you're receiving maturity, then what kind of maturity are you talking about? Are you talking about the chronological age, that one has this age so that you can know this is a mature individual? Or is it the way one converses? Or is it the way one handles relationships or handles themselves, so that you can be certain that I'm taking Faith to be my wife, and I know certainly Faith is going to be giving me a great time even as we look at issues, because I love her intelligence when she's looking at issues. Yeah, so there are those attributes that are very critical for a person.
Yeah.
Even politics.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, what are my ideologies when it comes to politics? Would I want to get into a relationship with somebody with ideologies that are very different from my own ideologies? And so you get away from that person. Issues to do with religion, from even these are faith people, but from what maybe even church would I want to marry from? And we have heard people say, I don't want to marry a Presbyterian. Them with their structure, sitaki. I don't want to marry a Reggio Maria person, sitaki. Them with the wrong dresses, sitaki. I don't want to marry a Mokorino, sitaki. I don't want that prophesying at night. I don't want. So there are those things that you're looking at and you're saying, That is not something that I think I would love in a person who is going to become my future partner. No, I don't want that.
Okay.
When it comes to issues of education, what level of education? You have this level of education. What level of education is going to make you comfortable that you can say, I'm okay with her, I'm okay with him at that education level? And it doesn't have to be, if you are a man, you're marrying a person who with a lower level of education. Yeah, no, it doesn't go like that. It is you to say, for me, I would want to get to this level, and I don't mind even my wife getting more educated than I. And provided she's going to know how to handle her own education so that it is not affecting the way we relate with each other, simply because someone is more educated, that she can see it as a resource, and a resource that has to be used for her and also for family.
Right. From the beginning, when you say that a person or an individual should ask themselves, am I stable? That has taken me back to a lot of times when we say the word stable, the first thing that comes in mind is financial. You know, do you have the finances to sustain a marriage?
Yeah.
Sadly, we don't even think about the mental health and other issues. But let's talk about finances, because it is key and very important if we were to be honest with each other. First thing you look at is this guy able, you know, to sustain the kind of life I want?
Yes.
Let's talk about how finances play a key role in terms of determining a partner. And Rev, as you talk about this, I think I'd like you to touch on a guy who feels like they like a girl who is of a higher financial status or social class. How possible is that? You know?
Thank you, Faith. You know, I'm smiling at how you have put that, because it's really nice. But when you talk about stability, we think about finances and not mental health.
Yes.
And you know, when you talk of stability, especially in counseling or whatever, psychology will talk about the emotional stability.
Yeah.
That could almost be the first thing you'd think about in terms of stability. But socially, when you talk about marriage, when I talk to young people and they're like, I'm not ready for marriage, it's about financial.
Yes.
I'm not stable. The stability 99.9% of people think about is the financial stability. But I like it when you say we don't think about social stability. We don't think about mental stability. And that's why many people have gotten into real trouble. Girls have gotten into marrying psychotic persons, narcissists, and they are like in one trouble after the other, or guys married the same because just the person looked stable and the stability was only finances. Then you get in there and you're so miserable. We found many people who are probably would think they are rich, but then these guys, the ladies, are so miserable in that home. Some of them are desperate housewives. The guy is flashing around cars. The lady has a good car, but she is poor. She even doesn't have money. Akona kadi. Amepewa kadi. Ukitaka mafuta, swipe. You go to hotel, swipe. You go wherever, swipe. No cash money. We do plastic money. You know, by that is really monitoring.
Yes.
Because if you went to a restaurant and took meal of this amount, kwani mlikuwa na nani? You go a place where you go to even spend a night to swipe. Umekunywa petrol ya 3,000 ikaisha the same day, kwani ulienda wapi? So it's a way of monitoring. And that financial stability where there is no, what we said here in one of the programs, about the intensive emotional attraction to the person. You only looked at the finances, can be a challenge. What should a guy do who is attracted to a girl and the girl is of higher social status than the man? Approach the girl. That's what the guy should do. If truly you are attracted to her, not her status.
Yes.
Because that's something you need to call yourself to a meeting. Because I know, call yourself to a meeting. I know guys who have said, you know, I love her. Not her money, not her job, not her family. But gets married. And I've had incidences. Gets married. A few years down the line, the guy is complaining because the parents to the lady are not helping them start a business. So it was not really like he was attracted to the girl. It was her social status and looked at her as a stepping stone to his financial freedom.
Yes.
Then you marry the person, you realize the finances kumbe sio zake, ni zao. Or you have married a woman. I also have a scenario where a lady gets married to a gentleman. Then this gentleman is way low, the girl is higher, and then the girl wants to have a joint account. He withdraws the amount of the money. He does not want to be questioned why he withdrew. And he's not the one going to work. So what does the girl do? Open another account, stop depositing money in there. Because it's a joint account, but ideally it was the girl's account because she's the only one who was putting the money. She was tired. And you know the way women are wired. Women are wired to be loved, taken care of, financially supported. The moment a woman supports a man 100%, it is not easy for that relationship to last forever.
Okay.
It's not, because men will feed a woman, feed a lady, feed the kids, pay the rent. Na utaenda ukibraga ati mimi nalisha mwanamke. If you go telling people, if I go telling guys, ninunia bibi yangu gari, nimechoka kumpea chakula, they will look at me and wonder, ulitaka apewe na nani? But a woman, when a lady like 100% supports the family, she's bound to get tired.
Okay.
Because the way we are socialized, even biblically, religiously, go to a restaurant. We are the three of us here. We have a meal. It's very hard for the bill to be pushed to any of you guys.
That's true.
The bill will be pushed to me.
Yeah.
And it is not just in this society, it is all over the world. Where they do very well, they will put it in the middle. But there is no way they will push the bill to a woman.
Yeah.
Nah. It's very hard. And for the man, he would almost feel demeaned if they pushed it to a woman. So, what would a guy do? Count the cost. If you're a man, count the cost. You want to marry a lady of the high social status. Are you sure in your mind it is the lady you want, not what she's associated with? Not the father's car or her car. Not her job. Not because she's fade. And you know now fade and you are single and you're on this TV every year. One may marry fade because you are looking at the news anchor. You are looking at the TV star. That's the girl one is marrying. But you see, outside of this TV room, the moment you get to your house, hakuna television, hakuna sisi na prof hapa. Now it is about the you guys. Ninyi pekee ndio mmebaki. So it is important for one to always ask themselves that question. Okay. Is it the girl or beyond what she has or her as a person? If she's stripped off all this, her parents, her family's wealth is stripped off, her job is stripped of her, will I still be ready to stay with her?
I think that's a question that really needs to load. We need to give them time to think about it, you know, and it also applies to if it was reversed. Yes. If you're a lady and you think you're in love with someone, would you still be in love with them or be attracted to them if everything of theirs was taken away? You know, think about that. We'll be right back in a few. Do not move, Amas.
Are you looking to grow a business? CAC TV offers you a variety of advertising opportunities to suit your budget. Advertise with us today and reach your potential customers countrywide. For more information, email us on sales@cactv.org or call 0794 588 054.
Welcome back, and thank you so much for keeping it right here. And today we are just discussing about finding a partner and you know, what to look out for in terms of characteristics, finances, age, culture, and so much more that is important and will determine how you grow together as a couple and as a family as well. And before we went for the break, Rev, you were spitting some wisdom, you know, and saying if you feel like you're attracted to this specific person and everything that you admire in them, especially materialistic, okay, was taken away from them, would you still admire them? And you were speaking how it also same applies to the ladies.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'd say they're the biggest victim, you know, because you think you're attracted and you like a certain guy, but really you just like his money and how, you know, his ability to take care of you and keep you well.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Just like the way we said that before we went to the break. When a guy gets attracted to a lady of higher social status than themselves, and even financial status, you ask yourself critically, is it the person, even if all this was taken away, will I still be comfortable with them?
Yeah.
The ladies, like you say, are even bigger victim. Because the ladies who look into a man and say, this man is stable, this guy has finances, stable financially, and can take care of me. Because a lady, which is okay, a lady will look into a man and say, is this man able to educate my children? Is this man able to keep me in a certain standard? It is okay. And by the way, for a woman to be attracted to a hardworking man, a man of means, somebody achieved, it is okay. It isn't evil. It's a good thing. Because even when you look at it even biblically, the men would pay a dowry. So it means this man is a man of means, is able to give dowry. That's why you go to Genesis 34 and Shechem, you know, goes to Dinah's parents and says, ask me for the bride price, whatever price that I'll be willing to pay. So that means Shechem was the man of means. That's why even he has the audacity to say, ask me for anything you want. And I'll be willing to do it. It's okay for a lady to do that. But ask yourself critically and try to separate the man from the wealth. And ask yourself, am I really attracted to the man, then the car? Or is it the car, then the man? Because am I attracted to the guy first, then his house? Or is it the house, then the man? Whereby, that's the house I would want to live in. So anyone in the house, anyone who owns the house, I'm willing to go to that person. Because if you're not attracted to the man, you'll get into that home and you find your life is void. Does the man respect you as a person as you go to him? Or does the guy want to flash around? Because anytime, and I should tell you this, is a red flag. If you are out with a man and the guy starts flashing around money, and you follow him and he thinks you are following him because of the money, you are doomed. Because he won't respect you, because he will always think you came because of the money. But if the fella is able to respect you, he's not even flashing money. Date. By the time you discover he even has a car, it's later on. But if he's all over flipping the car keys, that has itoshei kwa mfuko, zinawekelewa kwa meza, zinawekelewa huku, na make sure mpaka anaonyesha ujue ni BMW, ama ujue ni ya Mercedes, ni German machine, I do European, I don't do, Japan machines. Then you should always ask yourself that question critically. When this wealth is not there, will I be able to do that? And when we went on break, I was sharing with you guys the stories I have gone through myself, where we have women who are married by men who have money, but because the man did not respect the woman, and the man thinks the lady came because of the wealth, the lady has lived, a very frustrated life. Because she's in a home where there's money, but she has no access to that wealth. She's there. The guy just sees her in the home, but she has no access to that money. So it has to be a man who respects you. A guy you like, then you like what he has. Not what he has, then him.
All right. Well, clearly, finances is such a huge factor when it comes to, finding a partner and deciding to settle down with someone. Not only for the person you're choosing, but I think also for yourself. But I think I wouldn't like us to end today's program without talking about age. I think other than finances, age is also a very huge factor. And people who settle down with partners where they have a big or huge age gap or difference have been criticized by the society. Be it a man, be it a woman, a lot of times when they come out, people say you're only with this person because they have money. Or if then the older partner is not financially well, then we say, you have been bewitched or you have been cast. And I'd like us to talk about this really. Is age just a number where it doesn't matter or shouldn't matter per se? And should we be now at a place where we are able to embrace everyone and every relationship, without looking at them and judging at people? If, say, for example, a couple walks in and I'm hosting them and the lady is 20, the man is 60, I wouldn't look at them with a face that suggests, you are doing a wrong thing. as a society, should we be at that place? You know, Prof, what's your take on that?
All right. When it comes to women being younger, and there is a big variance, like the one you have talked about, the 60 for the man and 20 for the lady. In the traditional African society, that was not frowned at, where a lady is younger. Because again, the families were more polygamous in nature. And therefore, if there are needs that are not going to be met, then someone else can be brought in and the family can have a continuity. But we are talking about a contemporary world where families are more monogamous. And even if there are other relationships that are out there, they are not relationships that are more permanent. They are relationships that are very, you know, transient, so to say. They are here today, tomorrow they are not going to be there. And so age is a very important factor, especially because we are talking about those people who are dating and courting, and those who are looking for partners that they can settle with. Because age connotes many things, and one of the things that age connotes is that you have needs at a particular age. At 20, you have needs that are very different from somebody who is at 60 years. At 20, maybe completion of education is going to be one of the things that you want to do. Also maturing up so that you are ready for marriage. That age says that you have not really completed your maturity to a level where you can be able to handle a marriage relationship very well. When one is at 60, you want to settle and you're looking at the retirement needs, and you'd want those retirement needs to be taken care of. Is it that you'd want to be financially secure? That's what you may be looking into. But this one who is much younger is looking for sexual excitement, is looking for being taken out, and you feel good because you have been taken out to cinemas and wherever else that you'd want to go, retreats, you know. At 20 years, those are the things that you're looking at. At 60 years, you're not looking at that. Therefore, the issue of incompatibility comes in. Because this may be a man who is struggling even with his sexual fulfillment in terms of fulfilling a partner because of the aging process, and how one loses potency the older you grow. But this is a person who is needing all the energy you can have in the world in regard to sexual satisfaction. That variance brings in a lot of difficulty, and we start having extramarital relationships because this is a person who is needing more energy than the person at 60 years is able to give. And that presents a real challenge. So age is something that people need to think about. A difference of 5 years, you are having similar needs or common needs, and that's okay. Now, when it gets now to 20 years, 30 years, now you are in different spaces in terms of tasks that you need to accomplish, and in terms of what is important for you and what you'd want to see happening in your life at that particular age. So we would urge young people, even as you're thinking, and we know young girls really want to be married by men who are much older and more settled and having money. But apart from that particular factor, there are so many other factors that suffer because you only looked at a relationship from only one angle, but you didn't look at a relationship holistically. Even when it comes to men who would want to marry older women, because again they are settled, they come in with money, their socioeconomic status is different, and you're admiring that, but you're not looking at other aspects. Is she capable of giving you children if you're interested in having children? If you're looking at only money.
Yeah.
So again, that factor may make you to separate because you didn't take it seriously. You didn't look at all those other needs that you require, so that you're choosing this person holistically, but not because of one element, the socioeconomic status.
Okay. So what you're saying is that age is not just a number, it matters.
It matters
yes.
big time.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Rev.
I'll just add up a little bit and say,
Yeah.
age is not a number. When it comes to marriage, age is not a number. Age is a major factor in marriage. And like Prof has likely put it very well, you look into, close your eyes when you get attracted to a lady, get attracted to this man, and you think you love them. Because you say love has several dimensions. There is that aspect of I love you, then there is the action about that love. Close your eyes. Ask yourself, 10 years from now, I'll be 30. If I'm 20, I'll be 30. She'll be 40. 20 years from that, I will be this, she'll be this. So along the way, if the man is the one who is way older, because anytime you hit into 10 years older than a lady, even if you're a man, because it has always been like marry a lady who is younger. That's the way what the society has told us, because ladies age faster. Not necessarily. No. No, I think even when the man hits 50, 55, he may age very fast. 60, very, very fast. Because at that moment, the man compares himself with the fellow men. If the other men are more achieved than him, you rush into taking loans and everything else to try to compete with them. Ladies at 45, 50, they are settled. Either they have money or they don't have money. Amesomesha watoto, wamekuwa ni wakubwa, kuna mtoto anamlilia kwa nyumba anataka kunyonyeshwa. The lady is settled.
Yeah.
And as she's settled, her body makeup becomes relaxed. She's even able to enjoy love making more. A guy after 55 or thereabout, if he is not achieved, the man is achieved at that age, he's good. He'll be relaxed, he'll be able to even meet his conjugal rights very well. If he is not, and he is into loans, anafikiria malone, alafu namwambia stories zingine hapa, dead kaput. So you'll find this guy will be very frustrated and will even look way more age. So if he married a lady, like Prof said, 5 years plus or minus is very good.
Okay.
So if you're the same age, hallelujah. If you're 1 or 2 years different, praise God.
Yeah.
3 or 4 either way, 5 either way, that may be okay. All factors remaining constant. You know, assuming your health status remains okay, no one is into problem, the health status remains fine. But the moment you hit 10, 15, if the lady is 15 years younger, imagine when she is 50, you are 65. When she is 60, you are 75. 60-year-old, you are not retire. So she's still very strong around here. Imagine 75-year-old, and she's looking at you and wondering whether you are the dad. Imagine going for clinics with her. Even the lady ataanza kukwambia niko na clinic, akwambia siku ya kwenda clinic.
Yeah.
If she has a problem anaenda kwa hospitali, hatataka kwenda na wewe. Cause anakwambia nitaenda hospitalini, lakini hakwambii, unamuuliza siku gani nikupeleka, nitaangalia kadi nitakwambia. She will not. She will know on Tuesday umepanga kazi na nakwambia that is the day she's going to hospital. Because people go and say, oh, no more another, you know, you come with your dad or you come with your big brother because you don't look compatible at all. Yeah. So I would say age is not just a factor, a number. It's an important factor to consider in marriage. Don't look at it today, look at it 10 years in marriage, 20, 30, 40 if God keeps you alive. So make an informed choice. And guys, I'll tell you, marrying a lady who is your age mate is okay. Marrying a lady who is older than you, 1, 2, 3 years thereabout, is still okay. But when it goes beyond 5 years, start thinking twice. When you hit 10, tell yourself, I don't want to go beyond here. Beyond 10 is disastrous. It may not be disastrous now, but in the years to come. Either way, either is the lady older or the man older.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And now that we're talking about age, let's talk about then, other than finances and the social security that comes with marrying someone who's older, maybe because they are financially stable, what else then would drive someone to look for someone who's way older than what is viewed as, you know, normal.
Just before Prof comes in,
Okay.
When you marry somebody older, it gives you not socio-economic stability.
Yeah.
To me, it gives you economic stability,
Okay.
not social. Because if this person is so older than you, even if they are financially stable,
Yeah.
socially, they will not give you the social stability. Because if I marry a girl who is 30 years,
Yes.
and I'm now 50 plus, where I go to socially, the people I hang out with
Yeah.
are not her club. The movies I want to watch,
Yes.
I will want to go play golf, sit in the golf club, start chatting with the guys. The things we will talk about, tunanua wapi mashamba, nyumba sijui umejenga wapi, mafundi, wewe ulitoa wapi QS.
Yeah.
At 25, 30 year old anashangaa QS anakuanga nani?
Yeah.
Civil engineer ni nani? So socially, there is no social security. It is economic security.
Okay. Yeah.
She will come dressed in a certain way if she's 20 years younger than me, and my colleagues are wondering what is happening to you. The people we talk about our political days.
Yes.
We talk about the riots at the university. We talk about kina Kenneth Matiba, kina Shikuku. We talk about Jaramogi Odinga.
Yeah.
The 30-year-old is all wondering who was Shikuku?
Yeah.
At Sabasaba, what happened at Sabasaba?
Yeah.
Sisi tunaongea kuhusu multi-party, and kina Ntimama flashing two fingers na kina Leting, they are wondering, Kariuki Chotara?
Who was that?
Yeah. Okay.
Who was that?
Yeah.
So I want to say, when you marry someone very older than you or younger than you, there could be economic security, socially.
No.
I will disagree that there will be social security. Yes.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for that.
Yeah, choosing to marry a person who is much older or much younger than you, what are the other factors that would make one do that? And one of the things that we experience a lot as therapists is when a person is not getting a mate of their own age. Say like you're 35 years or 40 years, and you're getting to a point you're getting really stressed about your age. Now, anyone who comes is going to be eligible because you're just looking for anyone to settle with.
Yeah.
So even those at 80 or 70 or whatever age, even the ones that are 100 years, are going to be considered to be eligible for you. Until you get into the marriage relationship and then you start questioning yourself, did I want this? I'm now dealing with a person with all kinds of medical conditions. Did I want this?
Yeah.
Did I want to be an heir to a person that I was getting married to so that he can meet my needs? So people wake up in the marriage relationship, that's the time they realize that I singled out only one thing, just wanting to get married. But I didn't think about characteristics and factors and variables that were going to make me feel satisfied within the marriage. The other thing that makes people to get married to people who are way older or way younger would be mental health issues.
Okay.
When people have mental health issues, they are not able to make decisions very well. Again, that challenge in their mind to make suitable decisions for themselves or constructive decisions where they can be able to do a very good analytical perspective of this person. Is this person going to bring me benefits, or is this person going to bring me costs? And therefore I am going to find myself challenged because I didn't think through this person who is coming on board. Will I be able to take care of whatever they come with? If this person is coming with mental health issues, will I be able to take care of that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I think those are very key points and factors to consider. Finding a partner is not that hard, and it's not easy as well, because this is a lifetime decision. It's like a lot of reference has been made to, you know, settling down with one partner like choosing your own jail or choosing your own prison. That's how you're going to live for the rest of your life. And even as we come to a conclusion, I'd like to first of all thank you all for your input. What is that key piece, punchline that you leave someone with who's wanting to settle down in order for them to use it as a guidance? Yeah, Prof?
I would want to say that just being in love with the person that is in the list of your eligible does not make one to be a person who can give you happiness and contentment in your marriage. You need to look deeper. Look deeper into other characteristics or other elements that need to be looked into, so that you can know that if I get married to this person with this age, from this culture, from this having these religious beliefs, having this level of education, having these preferences and these habits and these hobbies, is this a person who is going to make me feel that I have made a good choice, or a person who is going to make me feel horrible inside the marriage relationship? So that you can choose for yourself a person who is going to give you satisfaction and contentment, because that's what God would want of you. Yeah.
Wow, thank you. Good.
What I'm going to say here is, when you're looking for a marriage partner, my viewers, one of the key things you need to look into is what we call love. Am I in love? That attraction. Am I attracted to this person? You know, so is this person like, am I attracted to them? Because the person you marry is the person you'll be, the first person you'll be seeing in the morning, the last person you see in the evening as you go to bed. So that feeling of love, the intense attraction towards one another, is very important. That I'm attracted to this person, I want to see them, I want to admire them. That person is very important. And that's why sometimes when we get distracted by all the other things, finances and everything else, when you close yourself in that room, the two of you, are you sure this is the fella you want to see? Is this the lady you want to see? You need to ask yourself that. Then you need to ask yourself, 10 years from now, 20 years, 30 years, if God keeps us alive, how is our life going to be? Is this a person I want to be with for the rest of my life? And of course, it is good to please trust God, because the Bible says, he who finds a wife finds something good and gains favor with God.
Yes.
So you want to gain favor with God. So even as you look for the partner, please seek God above everything else. God bless you.
Wow, thank you so much. I think for me, I like the what you've said about be attracted to the person, and Prof, you mentioned that contentment and satisfaction, and I think that's very key. Thank you all for today.
You're welcome.
Well, for me, my prayer to you out there who is in search of a partner is that God will bless you with one. And if you're in a relationship, you know, not yet married, I hope that this program has been helpful to just allow you to sit down and reflect on your relationship. Is it something that you're confident with if it moves forward to a marriage, and that you're confident that you'll be happy, and if God gives you life, as Jeff has said, it will be a happy marriage, one that is full of contentment and satisfaction. For me, and our purpose right here at Transforming Families is to see that all of you are in happy marriages, you know, that glorify God, and that are setting a good example for the society, saying that marriages work. Despite them being work, we agree that, but at the end of the day, the work is worth it, and that marriages do work. With that said, dear viewer, thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. My name is Faith Kaulu, and this is Transforming Families. Till next time, goodbye.